Welcome to the Gear Slum, your one-stop shop for all things guitar culture nonsense. I'm Aaron.
I'm Phil.
And I'm Cole.
We slum it hard so you don't have to. Have to. Remember Rookie of the Year?
Have to.
We don't have.
Did you guys watch that movie?
Heck
We don't
yeah, dude.
have to.
Is that the one where the kid has
Deal
like
from
a...
the have to.
I don't watch sports movies.
Oh, that's not a sports movie. That's a magical broken arm movie.
Oh, how many touchdown goals did he
You've
kick
never
in
seen
that
it,
one?
Phil?
I did not watch it.
Oh, so this kid who...
I always get it. Honestly, I always get it confused with Angels in the Outfield.
No, it's way better.
I know what it's about.
It's both like
His
a kid
tendons or whatever.
and baseball.
What has
so it's
happened is the
understandable.
tendons have healed a little tight. And then he hits the guy, he hits the doctor in the face. Rotate. Funky butt lovin'. Did he just say funky butt lovin'?
It's a pretty great, like it has a decent amount of just like ridiculousness,
Yeah.
which
Chet Steadman.
as a kid, you always appreciate just like people saying silly things, you know.
And there's the bad boyfriend, the stepdad, fake stepdad.
The dad has a bad boyfriend.
No, the mom has a bad boyfriend
very
who she wants
progressive.
to marry.
Yeah, it was a pretty like
For a
it was a
90s
pretty
Then she
unique,
falls in love with Chet Steadman.
it was a pretty
That's right,
unique
I'm not your
storyline.
father. Chet Steadman is not your father. In fact, your mother doesn't even know who your father is. He's just some guy who left town. I've watched that movie many times. I own two
Those are-
physical
Is this-
copies of it.
Is this one of the VHS copies that you have at Grandma's house?
No, I own two copies on DVD.
TVD?
DVD. DVD.
DVD.
I got DVD. That sounds like someone who doesn't know what DVR is, or they know what it is, but they don't know what it's called, and they're trying to explain it. I'll have it on my TVD. No, you don't.
Dude, I will admit, even in this, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. You tell your story, Aaron. But also, I wanted to say, like, was there any '90s kids movie that didn't involve like divorced parents and one of them getting together with a new boyfriend or girlfriend and the kid hating that person?
Yeah, Angels in the Outfield. He had one parent, and he left.
Jeez.
No, they probably got divorced. The stepdad was probably lying.
I think, no, this was his real dad.
Oh,
And in Angels in the Outfield, and he goes, when are we going to be a family again? And then he says, I don't know,
see.
kid. Maybe when the Angels win the pennant.
yeah. That's
Oh,
the whole
of
plot
course.
the
And
movie.
that's why, that's the catalyst.
yeah.
And then he
that's
prays.
the-
God,
Dude,
if you're there, if you're a man or a woman.
does he say that?
Yeah, he does. Can you please
He was-
just make the Angels win the pennant?
God, if you're there. If you
not
believe
even
in
Albert
that.
Pujols can make the Angels win the pennant.
Apparently not.
Boom.
Not even
Sports joke.
freaking Mike Trout can help the Angels win the pennant. The best player in baseball can't help the Angels win the pennant. He can't even help them win games. They've won
Stupid
like one
Angels.
game this year. They're 1-6 or something.
Yeah, they're
Stupid Angels.
Those sound like good jokes, you guys.
Oh, guys, we're recording this episode a little bit in advance. Just a little peek behind the Iron
A
Curtain.
little bit.
The Crimson Curtain. Can we say that?
We
'Cause-
just did.
Because
the
I'm
Gear
going
Slum-
to be
Gear
I'm
Slum.
going to be
Gear
blessing
Slum
the
Red
rains
Curtain.
next week.
The Crim Kurt.
I have to be honest. I
gotta
really
be
like
honest.
it when we record and you're in a foreign land because I always feel like there's just part of me that's like this could like just end at any moment. Like your internet could go out or whatever, and you're always up at like some strange hour.
Yeah.
Of the, it's like 3 a.m. for
definitely-
you or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I always like doing those.
We'll record something while I'm there, I'm sure.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm going to be
But now it's just boring old Saturday morning
at our house
for all of us
sitting in a room alone, talking into a microphone.
in our underwear. You guys are in your underwear, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, underneath my clothes. Oh, burn. I just twisted your words into a ball.
That's exactly what I meant.
And I tossed that ball in the air, and I hit it with a stick, and it went over the fence. Home run. Home run batting practice.
You can't have a home run in a normal backyard, right?
I'm sitting
if you hit it over
in
the
a
fence.
baseball stadium right now.
Oh, word?
I'm recording at Petco Park.
Pecco?
Petco?
Petco. Pecos Bill.
Park?
I'm recording at Pecos Bill Park. I remember we did a play
Petco.
in fifth grade, and there was a song about Pecos Bill. Oh, Pecos Bill, and it had an echo. Oh, Pecos Bill was a cowboy rough. Was a cowboy rough. And there rode the plane.
In the sun.
And I don't remember it.
Clearly. It was good.
It was a long time ago. Guys, you know what I hate?
Aaron, what other songs do you remember from when you were young that you don't really remember?
I remember in that same year that we did like a play, and for some reason it was like country themed apparently, and some of the girls sang that song "Standing Outside the Fire" by what's that dude's name? Who's like the biggest country star ever? Garth Brooks.
Do you mean "Sleep Now in the Fire"?
Sleep now in the fire.
That would be awesome. A Garth Brooks version of "Sleep Now in the Fire."
No, standing outside the fire. Life is not thriving, it's merely surviving if you're standing outside the fire. Which I don't get. Because, are you supposed to stand in the fire?
That sounds
seems
like bad
unwise. I think what he means is standing outside of the ring of people who are near the fire. But it's really long to say.
Or
standing outside the ring of people who are near the fire.
Or
in
just
proximity of the fire.
He's saying you need to be doing hard stuff or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It makes no sense. I've never understood it.
Listeners.
Oh, life is not tried. It is merely
call
survived.
into the hotline and tell us what the fire symbolizes in that song.
Oh, here you go. Because here's the second.
Never mind, Aaron. Just Google it. It's fine.
No, I'm just gonna read the lyrics to you, and you'll figure it out. It'll make sense. We call them cool. Those hearts who had no scars to show, the ones that never do let go, and risk the tables being turned. We call them fools, who have to dance within the flame, who chance the sorrow and the shame that always comes with getting burned. But you've got to be tough when consumed by desire, 'cause it's not enough to just stand outside the fire.
So the fire is marital infidelity?
The fire is desire, apparently.
Why didn't he just say that? It even would have rhymed.
Standing outside desire. We call them strong, those who can
he should have
face
said
this world alone.
Standing outside the fire, by which I mean desire.
We call them strong, those who can face this world alone, who seem to get by on their own, those who will never take the fall. Taking the fall sounds dumb. We call them weak, who are unable to resist the slightest chance love might exist, and for that forsake it all. They're so hell-bent on giving, walking a wire, convinced it's not living if you stand outside the fire. Yeah, this song's dumb. Garth and Jenny Yates, who also co-wrote it, both wrote a bad song.
But it's about sexual desire?
I'm pretty sure, it's a dude trying to get
Didn't
laid.
you say you sang this in school and there was a girl choir singing
it was
that part?
It's 3 5th grade girls singing the whole song. What? It was the 90s. What are you going to do? It's 1992.
Yeah.
You could get away with
We were all watching kid movies about divorced parents and singing about marital infidelity.
You guys, you know what I hate? I'm talking a lot, but I'm going to talk a little bit more.
Please do.
When I'm teaching a class, and I teach in the morning a lot, so 8 o'clock, which is not like early for most people, but like for college students, apparently it's incredibly early.
For community college students, definitely.
Yeah. So there's always like a handful that show up late, but without fail, whenever we're doing like group work, like if I'm lecturing, they'll just like sneak in, and I have to remind them, like, if you came in late, tell me you came in late so you don't get marked absent. But anyway, when they're like doing group work and I'm like up front, just kind of chilling, someone will just like come in like 10 or 15 minutes late and just like stand in front of me and stare at me. Blink.
Like they don't even
speak. Yeah, they just stand there. Like I've
they're
been
acting
waiting
as
to
if the
greet
normal. They're acting as if the normal protocol was that everyone just comes up and stands in single file in front of your desk, and then you give them their marching orders or something.
Right. So they stand there for a minute, and then I'm like, yes. And then they don't even like ask a question. They say, I'm late. Always. They always inform me that they're late. Like I didn't notice.
You're like, yeah, you're ugly too.
Like, yeah, you're late. Do you remember Camp Nowhere? It's not a great movie, but at the end, the kid gives this guy some money, and the guy goes, "You're a little short," and then the kid goes, "Yeah, well, you're a little fat."
Good joke. Solid joke.
I like how you say it's not a great movie after we spent like 10 minutes talking about Angels in the Outfield.
Camp Nowhere is actually probably better. It has a lot of people has a lot of people who later became like pretty famous.
Is that the same as Salute Your Shorts?
No, so Camp Nowhere is... You guys have never seen it? Okay, so Camp Nowhere is a film
Ranch.
about...
Oh, hey, dude.
It's about these kids that always get sent to summer camps that they hate. Apparently they're like summer-long camps, so like month-long camps or something. Like.
Yeah, that's what Salute Your Shorts is about, too.
Yeah, I know. But in this one...
Feels all defensive. Yeah, Aaron.
It's about camp, yes, but it's different. So what happens is these kids, all these different kids, like they hire this dude to trick their parents into like showing them a new camp, and then they just like go. They take the money and they just like go live in this abandoned camp alone with no adults all summer.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
that's pretty great.
And it's Christopher Lloyd who's the guy. They bribe him to do it. So they go to this camp, but then like they end up like actually turning it into a real camp and like doing this like parent week thing or whatever. But
wait, that same movie or that same plot exists, but about college.
Does it?
Yeah, it was.
But I think.
Crap, what was that called? Did they make up that fake college? Dang it.
Is that the one?
It was like
is that a Tom Green movie?
No, it was like a National Lampoon's movie, I thought.
Aaron, the one you're talking about was clearly earlier because it was definitely square in the 90s, right? Early 90s?
Yeah, the one that I saw was 94.
You're talking about
Yes,
Camp Nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm talking about...
No, I think like the one we're talking about is like in the 2000s. It's like some like semi-raunchy. It's like a National Lampoon's or like an American Pie. Didn't they make other American Pie movies? Like that had American Pie branding on them?
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Yeah, they
like
had one about
video
a race
stuff.
or something.
But that's not what this was.
I think that was called Race Wars. American Pie Race Wars.
Whoa.
Because they had American Wedding, but then there was the Naked Mile. America Pie presents
Accepted.
The Naked Mile. Accepted, is that
Isn't it just called Accepted?
I think.
Yeah, it has the
yes,
kid
I think that is it.
It has what's Jason or Justin?
Justin Long.
Justin Long.
Jonah Hill.
I think I have seen that.
Oh, Jonah Hill's in it. Wow.
Did that that came out like around the same time as Dodgeball? Maybe.
Yeah, it was 2006.
No, Dodgeball was. I was in high school when Dodgeball came out.
No,
Came out in the 80s.
you were not in high school when Dodgeball came out.
There's no way. Dodgeball was in 2004, and this was in 2006.
Oh, Dodgeball. I was thinking basketball.
I was like, you were not in high school when Dodgeball came out. How are you defending this?
Okay, wait.
Like, how is that not a joke?
Okay.
Now Phil's
Wait,
joke is that he's
what
like,
year did you graduate, Phil?
96.
Then you were not in high school when baseball came out.
When did
1998.
baseball come out? Damn it. Fine.
You're older than my brother?
jeez.
Dang, you really are old.
Hey, guess what, Phil? You graduated the same year as my brother, and his kid is married.
Oof.
No, wait. He graduated in 94. One of my other brothers graduated in 96. But still, though.
But you're saying that your brother and I are high school contemporaries.
Exactly. You would have been in high school at the same time, and he has a kid that's married.
Dude, Blake Lively, oh my gosh. Okay, Blake Lively was also
what are you
in Accepted.
Googling over there?
Accepted, the movie Accepted. Blake
okay.
Lively was in the movie Accepted, and her nose is not the same.
No.
Yikes. How dare you,
Yes.
first of all?
How very dare you. So what happens is they stand there, and then they ask me always,
Oh, yes.
what are we doing?
What do I do?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
And then I tell
And then
them,
Aaron says, well, you're standing there like an idiot.
and then I say, oh, I just explained that.
It's standing like an idiot day.
For the last
you get an
10
A.
minutes,
Good job.
have been spent talking about what we're doing and asking questions. And so what I usually tell them is just like, oh, find a group and they can explain it to you.
Yeah, obviously.
Which should be that.
Like an
that should be
adult.
like
Like that should
That's
just
what-
be what you do.
That's what a normal kid would do. Like you're the one who screwed up, and so you recognize that. Okay, I'm the one who has to fix it now because
Or at least be like,
that I'm late to class.
hey, I'm late, but should I just join a group? Like just ask.
yeah, at most, or just
a
like
normal
hop in a
question.
group and try. Like I would be trying to not let the teacher notice that I was late, rather than like, hey,
Right.
I'm late. You need to cater to me being late.
But like, here's the correct way to do this. You walk in, you try to just jump into a group with the teacher not seeing
Yeah.
you. But if the teacher does see you, then you make eye contact and you say, "Hey, sorry I'm late. I'm just going to jump in with this group. Is that okay?"
Yes.
That's it. That's the way to do it.
And if you're
But
really
they don't.
cool, you
they
say,
don't
teach.
ever.
You'll
But they
teach.
don't ever do that. Yo, teach. So here's in these young people's defense, I'm going to say this. Going from high school
playing Johnny
to
Cochran
community
right now.
college.
Yeah, why are you always defending young people, Phil?
You're defending the
Why
indefensible.
are you so obsessed with young people?
So in high school, everyone like knows everyone.
Talking about like 1998.
In high school in 1998.
No, that was college.
But then you go to a junior college and then you're like, oh crap, I don't like know everyone like I did in high school.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is still, I'm still not defending it because it's still super obnoxious.
Yeah,
but like
that's like where it comes from, is that you don't know
They're
anyone
like-
in any groups that you can just jump in.
right.
right, and so you do feel like you feel like an idiot on both ends. It's like okay, like it actually takes a lot of balls to be like, I'm just going to jump in on your group. Is that cool, strangers?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I have
Yeah.
to
That's what
remind
anyone-
myself that like they're basically still kids, most of them. So it's like you have to kind of teach them how to live in the world.
Especially when summer rolls around, you have to remind yourself.
No.
Never mind. The thing that's crazy. Okay, so there's a couple things.
Yeah, at summer
First of
school,
all-
also have to remind myself that.
I don't get how kids are late to class in high school that much. Because I think back and I was late to
Parents.
class all the time, and it's like, no, but not even like the first class of the day. It'll be
Oh,
like
you're just
third
chilling.
period.
Yeah, I was late for
Yeah.
class all the time.
they're making out with their
It's
girlfriends and
because
boyfriends
you
in the
don't
hallway.
want to go to class.
Yeah,
Yes.
Phil, I just said
Yes.
I was late to class all the time, so clearly that's not.
Oh,
the
you did say
explanation.
that? I thought you said like you were never late.
No, I was late a lot, and I'm trying to think like, what the crap was I even doing? It's not like I had like
Well,
so many friends that were lining up to hang out with me and stuff like that.
Right, but it's like you leave class and you're like, I want to go to the bathroom, and then you go to the bathroom, and then you're like, now I have to go.
First
to
of all,
freaking
nobody
class.
wants to go to the bathroom in high school. You avoid that at all costs.
Peeing's fine.
I didn't say you want to go to the bathroom, did I? You need to go to the bathroom.
I probably
What
pooped
I was-
twice in
what I meant.
high school.
Seriously, I don't even know what the
literally-
inside of the stalls looked like at my high school.
Somebody at my school drew a big, giant penis on the inside of one of the stalls of the door, which is funny because, like, at our school, like, that's, like, not a normal occurrence. And it was, like, the kid chose to take up the entire stall door.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, it was just one big, giant. And that's what made me laugh, is that it was, like,
yeah, It's like so.
It was
over
the whole
top.
door. Like the kid was just like, "Yes, I'm gonna do this whole door."
So maybe I've said this before, but when I was in college, I went to a university.
Oh, nice.
Never heard of it. And
yeah, I went to one.
there was
too.
very little.
2 of them actually.
Is that
I
better?
graduated from 2 of them. Well, I went to one,
okay.
a different one
So-
for my master's degree.
Like there was very little vandalism of any kind at my school, except in one bathroom in the science building, somebody scratched. Like there was only one toilet stall in there, and it was right next to all the administrative offices. So like all of my advisors and everything, and somebody scratched "Cole was here" into this, like right next to the toilet. So you'd be like looking. It was like right by the toilet paper thing. And it was literally there from the time I started in 2004 until I left in 2010. For 6 years, all my advisors probably thought that I vandalized this bathroom.
No, in college,
Yeah,
In university.
at university.
No, nobody thought that you did that.
I was the
because-
only person named Cole that I ever met at school.
I know, but what kind of a moron puts
Yeah,
their
like puts
own
their
name?
Yeah, that's true.
In
Okay, now
college
I'd never
student-
considered this. What if I had like some rival that I didn't even know about?
That's what this is.
Can you have a
You
rival?
had a
that you
rival.
don't know about?
It's like, oh man,
He doesn't know
I'm so
about it,
sick of this
Aaron.
kid who gets like reasonably good grades but not great grades, and kind of once in a while he'll make a funny joke in class.
He's got cool hair.
He's pretty
He's
much-
always talk about Pokemon.
He's unmemorable in most ways. So, okay, another question I have, Aaron. Why do you keep attendance in school? Is that a normal,
Why
have
do
to.
I?
or like
Like
in
why-
college?
Well, because you like part of the accreditation is that like
Okay.
so in order to earn the units, you have to have a certain amount of class time and a certain amount of like
Yeah.
out of class work.
Earn the units.
So if they don't attend class, then you can't pass the class.
Right.
Okay.
So you're only
And-
allowed to
and-
miss
but
like
it's-
10% of the class or something like that.
And honestly, it's more about that kid saying, "Hey, why can't I pass this class?" And then
Yeah, you need to have like something to
the
point
school
to.
saying, "Look, you weren't freaking here."
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe they took, like, obviously you're not like calling roll or whatever. You're just like looking around and marking down who's there or something.
Yeah, generally. I mean, after
Yeah.
the first week or two. But
Yeah.
I don't know everybody, so sometimes I do.
I'm trying to
call
think.
out
Maybe
names.
they did. I don't know. I can't remember them ever taking attendance, but they must have at some point. I
Well,
guess.
it depends on the school.
Especially
so
like in the lower level. In the lower level courses, probably more than the others.
I don't remember it ever happening when I was in college. Well, when I was in like after I transferred, because I went to community college a little bit, and I think they did there, but I don't remember it happening later. So it's probably has to do with the level too. I don't know.
Maybe so.
I don't know.
So Phil, did anything interesting happen with your class recently?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Oh, that's fortuitous.
It's been a long time from an update on.
Oh wait, yesterday I was listening to an old episode, and it was episode 99, and it was the episode where you were talking about your kids that you're like that they didn't know about the podcast, but they were looking in your bag and they saw all your equipment, and they were like, "You could totally record a podcast with all this stuff."
You're like, ooh. It's like if they found a bunch of like metal spoons and lighters and syringes. Oh, you could totally shoot heroin with this stuff. Ugh. Never thought about that.
Oh, that's so weird. So I don't remember why it came up, but they were talking about. It was something like this. One of the seniors said, "Mr. Eisenhower, do you have a YouTube channel?" And then I said, "No." And then I go, "Well, yeah, no." And then they all freaked out, and they're like, you totally do, and you don't want to talk about it." And I was like, no, it's not that I don't want to talk about it. It's just that it's super insignificant. And they're like, "Well, what's on it? And then they all started making jokes about, "Oh, I bet you had a vlog. And I go, no. It's just simply when I took a sign language in college, the professor insisted that for the final we recorded ourselves and then upload it onto YouTube and then send him a link. That's how we had to do it, and I just don't care enough to take it off the internet. And they're like, so there are videos of you signing right now on the internet?
Is it the Wildwater Canoeing World Championships?
That's not it. And so then...
This is an even older video of you. From 2007,
I know,
you're running.
Dude.
I know, I forgot that those are on there,
You're going to race.
too. Yes, I was, before smartphones, I was recording myself, like, with a... I mean, it was like a homemade... Essentially... Well, wait, we're getting
you got
off
a
topic.
you got a homemade rig?
Yes.
Were you sub-owning?
To record myself running a half marathon.
Whoa.
It was like...
Did you have like the battery in a backpack or something?
No, because I just did short little videos. No, it was a digital camera, but it's like it's gross. It's super grainy.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm moving, so it makes it even worse.
We got like this great Christmas present.
Flip camera?
What, Aaron?
Sorry, was it one of those like flip cameras?
No, it was like a, those little like size of a deck of cards ish.
Yeah,
it was like a digital camera,
video, like not just video, but a regular digital camera.
Yeah, and it had a place to mount a tripod on it, and so I just kind of made like a PVC pipe, and then I had like a bolt on it. So
you
I
made
could
like a
bolt
selfie stick before that was a
Basically,
thing.
it was a selfie stick, and I would run. I'd turn it on and run with it for like a minute and like talk into it. Like, okay, I'm at mile 7. And then I uploaded all of them, and I thought it was funny. A lot of the people that were running the race thought it was funny. But this was like before smartphones. It was before the word selfie, I think. Anyway, that's not part of the story. So the kids start Googling. They start, looking up. They want to see me do sign language or whatever.
When I asked if you had a YouTube channel, I was thinking you'd say, "Well, my podcast does, but I don't know the password." So it's not
no.
Channel.
No,
Can't really show you.
No.
So, like, before I'm even finished talking about it, one of the girls swings around her laptop and she goes, "What's Cowerfest?"
And I wish I had a video of Phil's face at that exact moment, because he was like, "That's when the House of Cards starts tumbling down,"
Now, here's the thing. So, for like a part of me was a little bit panicked.
Everyone knows teachers are not allowed to have podcasts.
Exactly.
No, that's not
it's against law.
And so I was like, I go, she goes, "What is this?" And I go, "Is it a German thing?" And I go, no. It's a guitar party. He builds he builds guitars, and it's like a guitar party. And she goes, "But like, are you like a correspondent at this thing?" And I go, "No, it's not. It's not like that. It's a really small.
It's not like that. I swear.
It's just a small thing." And then somebody goes, "No joke." Someone else in the room goes, "Who's Clifton Worley?"
Which is like.
And then I wanted to.
Well, how much time do you have?
And then I wanted to laugh because like they're like just they looked up my name and now they're scrolling and I don't know why that is the name that they would decide
it says
to
it's in the
out.
title.
It's the title of the video. Yeah.
Cowerfest 2017
in the
with
video.
Phil Eisenhower and Clifton Worley. That's the actual
And Clifton
YouTube
Worley,
video
okay.
title.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a name that's right next to my name.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's
Now-
also very funny because it's like, in some
Because it's
ways, to even ask that question, they're like so deep down the rabbit hole of you having a podcast and all this.
It
and they
feels
don't
that
even-
way,
and
yes.
they don't even know it.
Right. Well, and what's funny is like
You're like Kaiser Sose, and they're like standing
Ryan's
there
name-
looking at you.
yeah, exactly. Ryan's name isn't on there, right?
No,
Because no one said who's Ryan Burke.
Yeah.
Because it's on 60 Cycle Hum.
Yeah, it's on their channel.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So then I'm like I'm thinking, okay, how do I like steer this away without sounding like I'm trying to steer it away? And then one of them finds the sign language videos And
luckily that.
And then they all
them.
yes, they were all distracted because I'm signing, and they're like, and then somebody says, "Oh my gosh, when was this? When did you make these videos?" And I said 4 years ago, and then they all gasped because the videos are 4 years old, and I have 0 white hair, 0 gray, 0 white. And they're like, what happened to you?
And also, you kind of, like, you've obviously lost some weight since then, for one thing. Or
in one of them, I think I'm thinner than I am now.
But you had your face was very, maybe it's because your beard.
It's short.
Like, your face looks a lot rounder than it does now.
It's because his beard was short.
Yeah.
So you can see the shape of his face more.
Yeah.
Oh.
No
Is
offense.
that why?
No offense.
No.
I didn't say the shape of his face was bad. The funny thing is the thumbnail on one of those sign language videos is you.
My arms are all.
No, one of them is like you're saying "shove it up your butt" or something. Like it's like the British, you know how they flip people off with 2 fingers or something.
Uh-huh.
Like you're kind of making a hand pistol, but yeah. Anyways, okay, so keep going. So they find the sign language videos.
Well, then they were all
They
like,
say how old
they all
you
gasped.
are now.
Yeah, and they're like, "You look so old," and then they were completely distracted, and nobody said anything yet. So they were, speaking of being close to the fire, like they were very close to the fire, and I don't know if any of them are gonna if any of them go back and watch the Cowerfest video.
Can I see Natalie and everyone come over?
Say yes.
Not girls, no girls. I don't think that's appropriate or a good idea.
Yeah, they can let any girl come over.
That's not wise. Oh man, you're going down a dangerous road, my friend.
Close to the fire.
I told him they have to stay in his room with the door closed, though, if they want to come over.
Wink, wink.
Stay out of my way.
Was that a rule for you guys? Like, you couldn't have girls in your room? I mean, it was a rule for me, but like they might as well have just made a rule that like I'm not allowed to fly to the moon or something like that, you know.
So I need to rewatch the Cowerfest video, but I'm pretty sure that if you watch it, it's like, oh, these are 2 people talking and they both have podcasts.
Yes.
Yeah, like it says Ryan hangs out
clear
with Phil of the Gear Slum podcast right in the description. Like if they had kept reading for 2 seconds, if your freaking English students knew how to read.
Oh, they're
freaking ADD.
And it even said, hangs out with Phil of Gear Slum podcast fame and a few other friends at Cowerfest. Like,
fame.
That's crazy that they didn't latch onto that. And it even links, Phil Eisenhower appears courtesy of the Gear Slum, and it has a link to our Podbean feed.
Like I said,
they
would rather watch me wave my arms around.
And it's only crazy because you don't want them to find it. Like the fact, if your kids find out you have a podcast, that's obviously not a big deal. But the fact that and I understand, like, I don't blame you for not wanting them to, because I don't want people like at my job to know that I have a podcast either. But it's hilarious that they didn't find it immediately after seeing that video.
I tell everyone that I have a podcast. I'm very proud of what we do.
Everyone that will listen.
Because you're a freaking loser.
Hey, do you know I have a podcast?
Oh.
Hey, have you heard of podcasts? I have one.
No, what I usually say is...
It's like DVR radio.
I usually say, like, I listen to some podcasts, but have you heard of the Gear Slum? And they'll be like, I think so. I'm like, yeah, that's mine. That's me. I'm on that podcast. I make it.
That's the best way to do it, because people are so afraid to say they haven't heard of something. So if you make it sound like they should have heard of it, like, oh, you've heard of the Gear Slum. Oh, yeah, like that rings a bell, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
I don't think I've listened to it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard of it.
That's probably what I say anytime anyone says a band name that I've never heard of. Like, oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, I think I saw them open for someone one time.
The thing about band names is, like, every band name sounds like a band that you've probably heard of. So a lot of times I say, I think I've heard of that. And I really think I
At this point,
probably have. But who knows?
Like,
and who cares?
Like, how many band names can there possibly be? Like, you've heard of, you know.
Seriously. Like, how many words are there?
It's like 1,000.
I think he's making fun of you.
I'm not. I'm yes-anding. Guys, this episode is sponsored by the... Who is it sponsored by? This episode is sponsored by Sinusoid, Pro Audio Couture. They make great cables. Dude, they had this cable for their Tech Flex of the Week.
I think it's pronounced Pro Audio Cutter. Isn't that where
that
the
was,
World Cup was?
That was yellow with, what do they call it? It's like the Tech Flex that's like carbon. The carbon Tech Flex over yellow. And looked rad.
Okay.
It looked really cool. So it has me wanting to put carbon over like every color. Because it's really cool. So check out Sinusoid.
What color is carbon? Is it like gray?
It's like gray, but it's like kind of translucent. It's not as like... So it's not
like
as dark as like a black.
translucent drive.
Yeah, imagine like carbon fiber stuff.
Okay,
it's like that
I'm imagining it.
Like the color of carbon. It's carbon neutral.
The color of carbon is that's my favorite band.
Yeah, dude.
Have you guys heard of that band?
I think that's a festival. The Color of Carbon Fest.
Is that German?
Have you guys seen Shazam?
No, because it literally opened like 12 hours ago.
Say that again.
I'm sorry. I have not seen it.
No, but what did you say it opened? When did it open? Did it just barely open?
He said
Like
it literally opened
like yesterday or something.
Oh, okay. Because
Like
I saw it
12 hours
yesterday.
ago.
I didn't know it just opened yesterday.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
Was it
It's
good?
really good. Yeah, I liked it. But it was like pretty... It had like some pretty dark imagery.
Oh, no.
There's like these demons and
Was it like
stuff.
I thought you were saying to say like jazz.
They're trying to... Like, there's some quotient they have to... There's some quota they have to hit, I think. So, you know.
Of aliens. Of demons. Some demon quotient.
Yeah. So like we took our kids and it was a little bit scary in some parts. But like part of it is he's this kid who's like in a foster home and there's like a sassy little black girl, there's some little Asian kid, and then there's this big fat kid. So it's like it's like the Burger King Kids Club or whatever. They're trying to check all the boxes. But the fat kid never talks at all. He never says a single word.
Sad. Is his mouth
freaking
like
bullcrap.
stuffed with food or something?
Yeah, exactly. He's always got freaking Twizzlers hanging out of his mouth. It's like, when are fat white people gonna get a break?
What a moron.
Wait.
What a moron. That kid doesn't deserve to be in the
It
movie.
was a good movie, though.
So it's like a kid that turns into the superhero?
Yeah.
Yes, it's
So it's like Big with capes.
it is. It's like Big, but super
but he doesn't
powers.
He doesn't have sex with any adult women while he's actually just a kid inside an adult body, though.
Why?
That's probably good. Why did you say why?
Yeah. 14-year-old boy? Why? Like,
If
why?
I was 14 and I got an adult body, that's literally the first thing I would try to do.
Yeah, add superpowers. It's like, wait,
Seriously.
what?
Are you
But
sure?
was there a
This does
Shazam?
not sound
There was
very
a
realistic.
Shazam like
Doesn't
cartoon,
sound-
wasn't there?
You're
Maybe I'm thinking of Freakazoid.
No, you're thinking of Kazam.
No, that's
Starring
wasn't that the
Shaq.
Shaq movie?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
You're
dude.
thinking of a Schmuzam.
Shmazam.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Mazash. Mazaz.
Mazahs.
Stupid.
It was good, though. So the guy who plays Chuck is like the superhero as an adult.
Shaq came out while you were in high school. I mean,
came
not
out?
Shaq. Kazam came out while you were in high school.
Shaq's gay?
No, he came out of the bottle as a genie.
Oh, okay.
in
Because
Kazam.
you rubbed him the right way.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I've not seen that movie. Is it terrible?
Kazam?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't either, but I
What
can
do
tell
you
you
think?
it's terrible. I can tell you unequivocally that it is terrible.
Oh, it has 1 star on Rotten Tomatoes. 6%. Its rating is 6%.
Who's rating Kazam on Rotten Tomatoes? Like, who's
Well, I
going
mean, it's
back in
like-
time?
They still get old critic scores. Out of but it has 40,000 audience reviews.
Holy crap!
So it has
How many
a
do most
6%
movies have?
and a 19% audience score.
Accepted has 116,000 audience.
Yeah, I was going to say,
reviews.
I don't think 40 is very much.
How have 116,000 people gone online to share their opinion about the movie Accepted? That's bonkers to me.
Unplanned.
Can I just
only
say
has
nobody cares what anyone else thinks?
991.
What does?
Unplanned. People try to get me to watch that movie.
Why do you keep saying that people keep trying to get you to
Because
watch
people
that
keep
movie?
doing it.
What's unplanned?
People around me in the world.
Is it about an unplanned pregnancy?
Yep.
That's what it's about?
It's about this lady who worked at Planned Parenthood and then doing abortions, and then she gets pregnant, and then she like decides that she doesn't like abortion anymore, and she fights against it.
She's
So is this
a
one of
total
those movies
sellout.
that's like
She's
sort
a
of-
narc. She's an abortion narc.
She's
Yes.
a narc.
Yes.
This is one of those movies where that's like basically made by churches.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why people are trying to get you to watch it.
Yes. Why? Stop doing it.
It's probably terrible. That's the thing. Is like, even if I agree with the premise of the movie, like, I'm not going to sit down and watch a really crappy movie.
Yeah. It's like watching like a movie that you have to watch in school.
Yeah,
Yes.
like, it's not going to be good. You're not going to
Yeah.
choose. You might like prefer watching a movie to listening to your teacher lecture, but you're not going to prefer that to like doing anything else you can do at home.
Yeah, you're not going to watch that movie on a Friday night. You're not going to go to the theater to watch it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Aaron, we need to send a message to Hollywood.
I've sent my message, and my message is keep making movies like us.
When you say like us, do you mean with white people?
No, I mean like the movie
So,
Us.
Oh,
So
who's in that movie?
how are you sending that
I
message?
can't remember his
to
name.
Hollywood.
I can't remember the name of the. Well, no, I mean the main character is played by Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah, but why I keep hearing about it on podcasts.
It's a Jordan Peele movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's his second.
That's why.
Yeah.
I think I was listening to a podcast where they were joking about how it was a sequel to Get Out or something. I don't know.
Guys,
But anyway.
speaking of things that I want to watch, MTV has announced 2 new shows.
Oh, word?
Well, I think 2 new shows. There's one new show that's definitely on MTV. The other one might be on a different channel. One is only interesting to me, and it's called Double Shot of Love. And it is it's a show.
Is it about Kevin Love and who
No.
else?
It
Courtney
is
Love.
it follows Vinny Guadagnino
From,
and DJ
Jersey
Pauly
Shore?
D. Pauly Del Vecchio of the Jersey
Oh,
Shore
no.
fame. And it's a dating
Wait,
show.
Go back and tell me his entire name. DJ Pauly
DJ
D.
Pauly D. Paul Del Vecchio. That's his name, Paul Del Vecchio.
So his nickname is DJ Pauly D, or is
Yeah,
DJ,
his given name
no,
is
he is DJ.
no.
His name is DJ
You
Pauly
can't say
D. That's his name.
no. He's not. He is DJ. No,
He's Pauly D.
he is a DJ.
Listen here. Paul D. Del Vecchio Jr., publicly known as DJ Pauly D, is an American television personality and disc jockey.
Thank you, disc jockey.
He is a disc jockey, but DJ becomes part of your name when you're a DJ.
yeah, like DJ Jazzy Jeff
Yes.
Yeah,
or DJ
like
Khaled.
DJ Tanner.
Yes.
Dude, she could have like had a career as a DJ if she wanted to.
DJ Tanner?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, she did.
after Full House went off the air.
She's having a career as DJ now
yeah.
in Fuller
As
House.
DJ,
Fuller House was
she has career as DJ.
how did Fuller House get made? That was the most awful piece of garbage in history, and there was so much hype around it.
It's just pure
Dude,
nostalgia.
people are eating it up.
But it was so bad. Is it still being made?
Yes, they're on to season 3
you
or 4
serious?
of the. Yeah,
Oh, apparently there used to be a show called A Double Shot at Love, which followed bisexual twins, but this is not that. This is Double Shot at Love.
I don't even know what that name means in that context.
So A Double Shot at Love was a sequel to A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila.
The Tia Tequila show. Yes.
Anyway, so which was also on MTV. So MTV has plagiarized itself. They just took the A off the beginning of the title. Double Shot at Love is Polly and Vinny looking for love together.
So wait, it's like The Bachelor, but it's two dudes.
Yeah.
And there's not like 20 women who are trying to get with them, probably.
No, there are 20 women.
Infinite
They're in a house with 20 women.
Oh, so it really is. It really is like The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It really is The Bachelor with with two guys.
Oh, gross.
That's gross because like, ugh, what's the fantasy suite going to be like? 2 and 2 or what?
No, here's the thing.
I have no idea what's going to happen.
This is just when there's one bachelor and 20 women, then like the guy has to be like kind of tame, but when it's like two bros, like there's just going to be so much of the two of them going, "Oh, dude, could you believe that?
Did you hear that fart?"
Can you not ruin this for me?
Oh. Dude, I love the fact that though, because one thing, I mean, there's so many things wrong with The Bachelor, and it's fascinating to me. But like one of the big issues is that, okay, all these women come on this show and they all are trying to win. In fact, there was like, it wasn't controversy. I listened to this Bachelor podcast, guys. I'm saying a lot of things now that I might regret later, but like there was this girl who was saying,
you don't watch The Bachelor, but you listened to a podcast about The Bachelor?
Exactly.
Whoa.
There was this girl who was saying like, basically saying like, but I really wanted to get a rose, and she had to stop herself because she said, but I really wanted to get a rose, because all it is a contest to see who can win. Because the thought that like they find 20 women and all of them just happen to fall in love with this guy, like that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Like they're all just trying to not get sent home, but it's like, is it really very likely that even the majority of these women are going to be into this dude? And the guy who's there now is like this sort of pro football reject guy. I can't remember what his name is, but yeah, that show is fascinating because people take it, like the people who take it seriously are the most fascinating of all, that think that like this is a valid way to find love. And then when they talk about people being there for the wrong reasons, it's like, yeah, that means they have like a functioning brain in their head. Because if you're actually here because you think that you're going to find your soulmate, then you are an idiot, you know?
Yeah, all the reasons are the wrong reasons.
Yeah, like your reason is wrong in a different way, but like it says more about your intelligence. It might say more about their integrity, but yeah. Anyways, okay. So Aaron, your MTV shows.
Speaking about, never mind. I was going to say something philosophical, but I'm just going to talk about another show that's coming out that I'm much less interested in, surprisingly, which is called.
I'm much more interested in
Hills related.
The Hills.
Oh,
it
yeah.
It is The Hills.
New Beginnings.
That means I have to go watch
The Hills, New Beginnings. Here, let me tell you a few reasons why I'm not interested in this movie, in this film, in this show, television series.
Okay.
What is happening?
Number
one.
You better have your facts straight, and you better have evidence to support your claims.
Number one.
I'm coming at you.
Is this your thesis statement?
Number one. No LC. I'm pretty much out right there. Number two.
I searched Hills
Lauren
LC
Conrad. Lauren Conrad.
And it pulled up.
No.
LC.
Those are initials for Lauren Conrad, not Elsie, like the cow.
Oh, because Elsie Hill was an American suffragist.
LC,
who was born in 1883.
You're out of your element, Donnie.
Cole, the reason she goes by LC when her name is Lauren is because on the original show there were like 4 girls named Lauren.
That's the best. That's another funny part about The Bachelor is when they have 2 girls or 2 guys when it's Bachelorette, who have the same name, they'll use
like
their last
Courtney
initial.
J.
But then as soon as one of them gets voted off, they just start calling them by their first name. It's like, we don't have to confuse you with that loser who already got voted off.
Ashley C. and Ashley Q.
Yeah.
Or Chad.
Quincy P
B.
and Quincy R.
Quincy.
You got 2 Quincy's on here.
Dude. If I had $1 for every Quincy. Lauren Conrad. Why is she
Yes.
cool?
That's her.
Is
She's the one. She is
she's
the Hills.
the one. Dun, 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 dun. It's been here
It was
for
her.
a
The Hills was her
long-
series.
Aaron-
It followed her.
Aaron, if I had no
okay.
idea what you're talking
Okay.
about and you said she's the one, I'd be thinking like, wait, is this like Neo in the Matrix? What are we talking about here? No.
Okay, because I've seen. Yeah, I recognize her
She's the main
face.
one,
She's
But
the protagonist.
wasn't.
but
who
it
was the
also
other chick?
doesn't have Kristen.
Is that Kristen Cavallari?
Yes,
No.
it is.
That's the
She's
one.
also
Oh, it
not in
is. Okay.
Cavallari.
'Cause I think-
Cavallari.
But let me ask you this:
Excuse you.
Does
Is she the
Excuse
crazy
you.
one? Who's the one that was so fascinating on the ones that we watched? Those first
no?
couple
You're
episodes?
thinking of Heidi.
You're thinking of Stephanie.
Heidi.
And sorry.
Oh, Heidi.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's.
Is
crazy.
she in this one?
Yes.
Yes.
Her and Spencer.
Nice.
Oh, yes. Now, did you guys know, Aaron, I don't know
But
if you
now
knew
they're
this.
like they're
I
like a
follow-
parody of themselves now because they have their podcast and everything. And
They have a podcast. Did you know Lauren has a podcast?
no,
Yes, she just, which I think is funny that
game.
Spencer and Heidi have like had a lot of success with their podcast, and Lauren's like, no, I'm not doing the Hills, but then announces that she's doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it's like most people would consider being on a TV show.
Yeah, like
Like-
it's you chose the lamer. You're choosing to sell out, but you also chose the lamer way to sell out.
In today's social media culture, it's easy to look around and believe that everyone else has life figured out, but things aren't always as they appear. Each week, fashion designer, New York Times bestselling author, and lifestyle expert Lauren Conrad will host a variety of experts for candid conversations on everything from life, love, and business.
Lifestyle expert.
Whether it's the
I don't think-
ideal 7-minute morning beauty regimen, how to snap that perfect IG-worthy flat lay, or tips. What's a flat lay?
Dude, I've had a few.
Aaron,
good
if
flat
you don't
lays
Or
know,
tips
today.
for tricking
then
party
you're lost
guests
and
into
we can't
believing
help
you're a
you.
gourmet chef. Conrad's guests will offer listeners tips for quickly navigating a Pinterest-obsessed world, as well as offering a healthy dose of reality. Because life isn't about knowing how to do everything perfectly yourself. It's about knowing the people who do. Subscribe.
And that's her saying, "I know how to do everything perfectly myself."
No,
But
she
also,
brings
like,
experts on.
nobody watches
Her
the
and her
Hills
guests.
or looks at Heidi and Spencer and thinks, "Oh, they have everything figured out."
Well, yeah,
That's
They
accurate.
think they're a total train wreck. Are they still together?
yeah. They just had a
Yes,
baby.
they're happily married with a child.
Now they
That's
like
bonkers.
realize. I mean,
Cole, why do you not listen to their podcast?
the thing is, like,
I don't
part
know,
of the
'cause
show.
I'm not a freaking loser.
The show
I'm too
wasn't
busy
exactly
listening to Bachelor
It wasn't
podcasts.
scripted, but it was directed. So a lot of their behavior was like instigated and kind of framed and like encouraged.
So are they
right? So it's
like?
hey,
do they
act
seem
crazy.
like they? Are they actually nice to each other and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah, in real life, it's actually, fine. I'll say it. I think they do seem very odd still, but they're very endearing.
yes,
The way they talked with each other.
they're
Yeah, you can
They
say.
clearly
You don't
love
have to
each
be
other.
ashamed to say that, Phil. They're a cute
I
couple.
am
Is that what you
kind of
wanted to say?
I'm kind of
You should a little
ashamed.
bit.
They're cute
The way
a
couple.
little
that
bit. Remember your first day
okay.
of school?
I'm going to say this. This might be a controversial opinion. I think Heidi might have had some work done, guys.
That's a pretty big plot point in like season 3.
I just googled Heidi Montag, and holy crap!
Well, the crazy thing is she did it all at once.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
like a
she
couple
had a bunch
side.
of it done
There's
at
like a
once.
couple side by side pictures. She used to be really pretty too. Like
It's
not-
just kind of settled into it now. It doesn't look as intense as it did at
Okay.
first.
I think she had some undone.
Yeah, probably.
or like soft. Yeah, like they
Wait,
Cole,
Justin.
soften the edges a bit.
Oh no.
Cole, they literally on the show, they decided to make it like a plot point that like they flew out her mom to come visit her, and her mom saw her and started crying. It was like very, very strange.
Wait,
I'm
Misha
glad
Barton?
that like I'm glad that she got like some of her surgery is kind of subtle, but she still went with like the 90s enormous ridiculous boobs, you know? Like I respect that.
Yeah, she was going for like full on like peak Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, but look at this. There's a Heidi Montag reduces breast implants from F cups to C cups.
Guys, I gotta say, I just watched the trailer, and
As we've
You're
been
watching trailers
Justin Bobby
while we're recording.
Justin Bobby is in it.
Yes, Justin Bobby's in
Back
it.
on
pronounced Bieber, you idiot.
J Bob.
J. J. Bob does not sound like the type of person that would be on the hills, unless it was a movie about hill people.
You know what's funny is he didn't like being called Justin Bobby.
But he's kind of like settled into it because
Yeah.
that's where the fame is. So his like Instagram handle is
The real Justin
Like-
Bobby.
yeah. But he got really pissed at.
Yeah.
I think wasn't it the case on the show that his name was Justin or Bobby?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he started telling people, "Call me the other name,
Justin.
And the
Yeah.
girl, one of the girls, knew about it, and so they were like, they started calling him Justin Bobby, like
Yeah.
to make fun of
Yeah.
him.
Because it was like
Is his real name Bobby or his real
I
name
think
Justin?
Bobby was the original name.
Because both are very boring names.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna change your
both
name
just-
to something,
It's not
Yeah.
like Snake.
Like, oh, I'm going to change my name to the super exotic
Hawk.
name Justin.
It's weird. Yeah.
Like, we all went to elementary school with a kid named Bobby and a kid named Justin.
but the thing
Yeah,
about it
exactly.
is Justin Bobby is like perfect. Those are the two perfect names to put together.
Damn it, Justin Bobby.
It just works so
Okay.
good.
But also, Jason
He's like,
was one of my favorite a-hole characters from
oh, he was in the hills. I was gonna say he
Yeah.
wasn't, but he was. He's the reason she didn't go to Paris.
right.
Paris
And
Hilton.
he's
Big
like
mistake.
he was a total
Huge.
train wreck at the time, and now he's like sober and married with a kid.
Yeah, cool.
So Heidi and Spencer have a podcast.
Yeah,
Yes.
Spidey, as
Is
they're
that-
called.
That's Spider-Man's nickname. They can't just steal that.
No, it's
That's why they
Spade.
did it. It's- I think-
Spidey.
They should have called it themselves Henser.
Pincer.
No, Henser.
Oh,
Pinsir is a Pokemon, Phil. Everybody knows that.
Oh, you're talking about Doberman
Okay.
pincer?
yeah, like the pincers on those bugs.
Are you talking
Yeah,
about
those
Freddie
pincer
Freddie
bugs.
Pincer Jr.?
But I think their podcast is called "Make Spidey Famous Again."
Oh, that's a little much.
I know it's not a good look, but it was funny. It's kind of like us. Like it was funny when they were absolutely nobody, and now they're kind of like they have sponsors, and it's like they have a lot of followers.
And it's like,
and
guys,
a
it's
lot
not
of like,
funny anymore. It's kind of like us.
yeah, exactly. It was funny when they were like struggling, and now it's kind of like not, but they still talk about it. They're like, okay, so this week in Make Spidey Famous Again, I got this job doing,
I'm famous again.
well,
So they are straight up like, that's their goal is like, hey, we had our 2 seconds of fame and we need to get it back now.
yes, that's
That's like, on one hand, that's like really pathetic. But on the other hand, at least they're honest about it, because that's like what most people do that had 5 seconds of fame. And
right. Every
But at the
character on
same
The
time,
Bachelor.
it's like now they're also offering up like a consumable product that is actually entertaining. Like they're legitimately entertaining at the same time.
yeah, which
Yes,
is like more
which-
than most people. It's like, oh, here's an Instagram with pictures of me wearing lipstick or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But see, and I didn't know this. I guess like almost like it's like 50% or something, like some ridiculous number of the of everyone on The Bachelor, or probably any reality show for that matter. The first thing they do after their season of the show is they start a podcast.
Oh yeah.
And some of them have like become like moderately successful, and some of them just like nobody cares. But like I learned this from Spencer and Heidi's podcast, that like there are all these freaking reality stars that just start podcasts, and if they've got like any kind of game, they kind of like start to pick up steam.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, the structure of the show, you as an ensemble piece to the structure of the show is what got you popular, but you on your own, most of the time, is not enough that anybody would care about.
Like you weren't entertaining on your own.
In and of yourself, yes, exactly.
That's why, and that's like a weird thing. I mean, it's like the same reason with why the first season of Survivor is so fascinating is because nobody realized, like, oh, you're allowed to lie. And then...
Yeah, exactly.
And Richard was like this real dick. See what I did there?
Oh, yeah. I did.
And everyone thought he was like evil, and then it's like, no, that's just what everyone does now. Like in the early days of The Bachelor, everyone, like under their name, it would say their profession. And now, like, pretty much nobody even has a job anymore.
Their profession is trying to get on reality TV shows.
Exactly. Like their profession is now
like,
this. This is all I've been working to.
Well, my favorite thing, and I'm sure I've said this before, but the Fire Festival documentary, like the majority of the people interviewed on that documentary, it was like for a career, it said Instagram influencer.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
Like, they're saying their career, like, what is my job?
Influencing
My job
Instagram.
is an Instagram influencer.
I influence Instagram.
So this is something I was thinking about. What
Influencing.
There's been all these expose documentary. Actually, first let's talk about our other sponsors.
Go for it.
So one of our other sponsors is gunstreetwiringco.co.uk.
No. Country Wiring Shop.
Gun Street Wiring Shop. And you just got to check them out. Actually, one thing we were talking about, I'm wearing my Gun Street Wiring Shop shirt right now. It's the one that's gray and has orange. It's like a picture of the...
I'm assuming it's an image
Gun
of
Street.
the Gun Street.
It's the Heo Kane.
The Heo Kane building, yeah.
It's a picture of Heo Kane.
The street, though.
Yeah, Heo Kane Street. And it's a really good shirt.
I'm super jealous of that shirt. I really
There's
want
a couple.
one. I was bummed.
There's a couple really good shirts out there. The other one that I really like is, oh crap! Why did I just blank on Ed Chu's? Ed Chu
Hammer
Brute.
and
You're talking about wrought iron?
leather and
Wrought iron, leather, and
Yeah,
electric.
is that the one?
Leather and electric.
I think that's the one I'm thinking of. It's a really good shirt, though. At any rate, so check
he
out.
He sent me like 3 smalls.
He sent me.
And I was like,
nothing.
oh, thank
Thanks,
you.
Ed. Thank you, Mr. Chu.
Mr. Chu. Mr. Chu sounds like
He's brute to me. He had treated me brutally.
He would be like the person teaching he'd be like the Mr. Miyagi analog in some cut rate Karate Kid movie. Mr. Chu. So Gun Street Wiring, hit him up. Gun Street Wiring Shop, right, Aaron?
Hit him up.
Hit him up style. Yeah. What more is there to say other than they'll turn your Les Paul into a More Paul.
They'll turn your
P bass into a poo bass.
Turn your semi hollow into a full hollow.
Into a
fill up all that hollow.
into a raging, throbbing hollow.
They'll take all your pots from 6 to midnight.
Raging, throbbing.
That's rough. It's a little rough.
I know. That's pretty bad. I'm not super proud of that one. I'm thinking, well, I don't know. I'm thinking I might try to do something cool with, I got that P bass or that jazz bass. Who is it? Oh, Geddy Lee. Mm-hmm. And man, I really like it. I've been playing it a bunch this week. And so I'm gonna hit up Sean and see if there's anything cool that I can do with it.
That's pretty good.
It just has like standard wiring, standard J bass wiring.
Sean,
who else do we have this week?
if you're listening,
We also have Pelican Noiseworks.
if you're listening, and I know you are, look out. Cole's coming at you. Cole's gonna slide into them DMs.
Coming at ya.
What was the thing that you were gonna say before you did sponsor?
Oh, like they. So I watched.
It had to do with.
I watched another
Spencer and
documentary about Lou Pearlman, who was like this Ponzi scheme guy.
The one that's married to Danny DeVito? From Cheers?
Yeah.
Yep.
Lou Pearlman.
Lou. Is her last name? Is it Leah Pearlman?
Rhea. It's Rhea Pearlman.
Rhea Pearlman. Okay, yeah. So he was like this Ponzi scheme guy who had this fake business, and then he'd get all these retirees to invest all their money and then steal it from him, you know.
Nice.
But then the weirdest thing was he created the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. And I kind of never like I had heard his name, but I kind of had no idea who he was, or I remembered it being a thing when he died, because he died in prison.
Really?
But
is he the guy that they like sort of both love and hate? Like
they loved him at one point because he was.
I mean, he made them famous, but
I don't want to like spoil the whole thing. But so he made him famous, but then it turned out he was just like stealing all their money. So like the one point where it turned was not only had he like in the contract he made himself the sixth member of the band, so everything got cut 6 ways. But he was just like spending all their money. And so they were talking about how like, yeah, he'd fly us on these private jets and we'd go to all these fancy dinners, and they didn't know all along that
they
he was
were
like
paying for it.
Their money to do it. Yeah. And so he had got them all together and said, okay, you're finally, because he hadn't given, so the NSYNC guys, he hadn't given them any money. They had sold like millions of records, and they were getting them together, and they were going to give him a check. Like, finally, you know, it's time to finally get paid for all this hard work you've done and blah, blah, blah. And they were like mega superstars at this point. And their parents came and, you know, they went out to dinner and he gave them all these checks. And they were talking about like, man, I wonder how much it's going to be. Like, is it going to be like $100 million, or is it going to, you know, like going to be $1 million? And it was $10,000. Like all their checks were for $10,000.
What the heck? That's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty insane. But the crazy, like one of the saddest things was that Aaron Carter. Do you guys remember Aaron Carter? Everyone does, obviously.
Of course.
Nick's little bro.
I have.
He had a song about
I'm sure I told my Aaron Carter story on the podcast.
Yeah.
He was vehemently defending
episode 103, I think. Go listen to it.
He was defending Lou Pearlman.
Which
Shut
episode?
Up. I'm just making stuff up.
Okay.
He was vehemently defending.
Yes, or vehemently,
Pearlman,
as stupid people say. And it was like really sad to see him.
He was behemothly.
He's not in a good place. Stop talking over me.
He was vehemently defending Rhea Pearlman.
Remember sometimes how you say you want our podcast to be good, Aaron?
Yeah.
You're not. You're making it bad.
No, this is good. This is quality 10.
It's not.
It really
so
is.
It's like really sad that like he was so, because then like there were like allegations of him being like some pedophile or something, but it was like, nah, it sounds like he kind of had like some creepy like attraction to these boy band guys, and he'd like tell them to take off their shirts and show them their abs and stuff. But all the people who are like saying they hate him and they are glad he's dead and everything, they were like, nah, he never did anything too bad or anything. But then Aaron,
well, to them,
yeah, but like they are the ones who like he would have probably done something bad to. So it seems like there's not like there aren't any like super substantial claims of him doing anything, you know, any sexual impropriety or anything. But even with that stuff, Aaron Carter, it was the weirdest thing. He was like, I can't believe these people are saying this stuff about Lou Pearlman. I mean, he would never do anything like that. He taught me how to do diamond push-ups, which are like where you hold your hands together and your thumb and finger make a diamond. He
do like the Jay-Z sign.
Aaron and I and all of our listeners know what diamond push-ups are. Cool. Thank you.
But like the craziest thing,
Jay-Z
okay, like
Illuminati
I get
sign.
Like he obviously
And
he
do
obviously
push-ups.
got Aaron Carter while he was too young, and he's still like, and he's like on drugs, and he's in a very bad place, obviously, and is very delusional. But like, in what universe is that somehow a defense of him?
That's a very strange defense.
Like he couldn't have possibly been a pedophile because he taught me how to do diamond push-ups. Like, yeah, it's pretty amazing. So my question,
You know
is,
the proper technique where you flex your butt when you do it?
yeah, exactly.
Like what?
He taught me how to really. Never mind.
That honestly, oh, never mind. That's a little across the line.
What, the thing you were gonna say or the thing we
the
said?
thing that I was about to say.
Oh, okay, good. It's so what I'm wondering, there's like this huge trend right now of all these expose, and I'm trying to think back like when it started. I mean, the Firefest one was obviously big, and it's obviously always been a thing. You know, you wanted to watch Dateline and see these exposés of people, but
Yeah.
there's like a huge market for it on Netflix now. What is like one situation that you would love to see an expose of?
The situation.
Not DJ Pauly D, Paul Diamatti. What's his last name?
Del Vecchio.
Diamarco.
Del Vecchio. Now you guys are
Dude,
just
Paul
excited.
Diamatti though. That's a pretty good.
Paul
Like he made a
Diamatti.
mashup of Pauly D and Paul Giamatti.
I want to see that. Just Paul Giamatti with Pauly D's hair.
No, the two of them, like a night on the town. Like
no,
hanging
like
out
if
together,
they had a podcast,
throwing out.
if the two of them had a podcast, they'd call it Paul Diamatti.
True. True.
Okay, so is
DJ
there
Paul Diamatti.
is there like a situation or a news story? Well, like the OJ one was super popular, right? And a lot of people watched it and was like, "Oh, I learned all this stuff I never knew about it."
Yeah. The there was like a documentary one too that I didn't watch, but I watched the
About Orenthal?
I watched the one that was like dramatized.
Yeah, the Cuba Gooding Jr. one.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. That's who it was, wasn't it?
He was OJ, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Cuba.
Cuba. What, like, the first thing that came to mind for me was Tupac, but like maybe there's no.
They just put one out about that, but no one really knows.
Yeah,
so
there-
there's not really.
Yeah, there's kind of not much. I guess it has to, like, the reason it can now become a thing is because there's so much footage that exists.
Yeah, I
Like,
think it's
everyone
almost
has hours of footage just randomly on their phones, and so
Yeah.
if someone's willing to do the work and try and go find it, you can find the truth about
Yeah.
things that nobody else was willing to find out.
I think it's almost better though when it's like a story that you don't even know about. Like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing, but then it's like a big
Yeah,
like
like
that,
serial,
what? Yeah, like serial or like
Right.
making a murder.
abducted in plain sight or whatever.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah.
I've got
Dude,
one.
which I haven't seen, but
Because it is, yeah. Because those ones are like so crazy, and even like the freaking, who's the murderer guy? The one we were just
Ted
talking
Bundy?
about, Ted Bundy. Yeah, like there's a lot of aspects of that story that most people didn't know about.
did Bondi?
I've got one to answer your question, Cole.
Yes.
And I don't know why I'm mildly obsessed with this, but whenever I stop and think about it, I become mildly obsessed more. Tom Cruise. Like, I feel like when I hear stories like about him, or like, I don't know if you guys saw Going Clear, the Scientology one. So that one is like, it's just kind of about Scientology in general, which is like fascinating and crazy. But every single thing about that they mention about Tom Cruise, I'm like, that sounds so weird and so like, I don't know. But the fact that I kind of feel like it's similar to Michael Jackson. Like, there's too much money. There's too many people making too much money in and around him that nothing of any consequence will ever come out while he's alive. But like maybe after he dies, like 10 years later, somebody will like do the work and put together like, okay, Tom Cruise did this. And And that's the thing that I really, really want to see. Because the things that I've heard about him are very, very strange.
I'd kind of like a similar thing about Prince, I guess.
Ooh, that's true.
I'd like to see
Or,
one about.
I mean, like Trump. Heck.
or just like pastors
dude.
wearing fancy sneakers. Preacher's sneakers.
Dude, Tom Cruise said he what was it? Nicole Kidman was not acting like good, or like was like not buying into Scientology, so they got a divorce. And then he told like the higher ups in Scientology, I need a girlfriend. And so they like found him a girlfriend. And then he broke up with her because she was like, this seems weird. She like kind of put it together that she had not, like, she didn't realize that she had been like groomed into be his girlfriend. She thought it had happened like organically. That's how like they had put everything together. And then the next girl he was with was Katie Holmes. And she has not said anything, but they were married for a few years and they had a kid together. And then she like straight up like took the kid and ran. And she's still like a movie star, but has not said anything about like her marriage with him or like the divorce or anything. And that's fascinating to me. Like, what is that? What is that about?
That's what's crazy. Like, do people just have like ironclad NDAs or something like that? Because like it seems bonkers when people are able to just, because everyone's like so desperate to have an interesting story to tell people.
But
It's
also,
how has
like,
Katie Holmes not talked about that?
it could be that, but it also could just be simply an unspoken one, right? Like she is an actress, and if she badmouths him, then it could mean like,
Yeah.
here are all the people that he's friends with or are loyal to him that then she can't work with or whatever.
Yeah. And like you said, like everyone around him is profiting from it, I guess.
Right, exactly. They all want this machine to like...
Which is the same reason why you'll never hear much about politicians, because like everyone around them is profiting from it too. You know?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Aaron. Am I boring you?
No.
Are you
Should we
sleeping?
go back to talking about
Paula
Paula Dean?
Dean?
Pauly D.
Dude.
Paul Giamatti.
Pauly D.
DJ Paula
I
Dean?
want to see Pauly D have a cooking show with Paula Dean.
Dude.
Yes. That is
But
it.
he's teaching her how to make Italian food.
Oh.
Can you
And
imagine
do
all
her
the
laundry and tan.
Italian racial slurs that she would drop during that show?
Actually, that would be a podcast I would listen
What
to.
is she? She's just calling him all kinds of inappropriate things.
She keeps going.
Do you remember that SNL skit?
Old-timey Italian slurs. He's like, don't say that.
Like that Louis C.K. SNL skit
I don't know who that is.
where he's that guy who
I deleted him from my life.
like it's
Yeah.
like this group of school
Wait,
kids
what did
that
he
are
do?
going
What
to
did he
this
get in trouble
museum,
for?
and it's like they're going to show you an accurate depiction of what life was like during the Depression or blah blah blah. And then he's like, first of all, his accent, he's like so terrible at voices and accents and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's all about how he has to go down and work at this factory. And then he's like, and now my job was stolen by these greasy Italians. And then he just start saying, and the lady's like, I can assure you that this is historically accurate. Oh, man.
That's
Poor
funny.
Louis C.K. You know, he got a real bad rap,
He got a bad rap. Yeah.
right? Can we all agree that he hardly did anything wrong?
Nah.
I can't.
How has
Yeah.
like
I don't.
it's no, I'm joking.
comfortable
Obviously,
saying that.
like,
I mean,
he's a
what did
dirtbag.
he like? He kissed women. He said something like, "You can just kiss them, and they don't even you don't even have to ask, and they just let you do it because you're famous, right? He said that, and then he's like, just walk up and grab him by the he said the P word, but right, that was Louis C.K., right?
It's good
He
that
said
you can't have a
word.
career. You can't have a career in comedy, but you can be the president of the United States if you've done stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just grab him by the Pauly D.
Oh,
It is like
Is that what he said?
it is a weird thing though, because even
he did say that.
like so much of Louis C.K.'s stand up is so good, and like it really is hard to enjoy now. Like it's hard to separate the two, you know, obviously.
Which is fine. Like I was thinking about that the other day because it's like, and then I was like, I mean, I don't really like my life's not worse for not listening to Louis C.K. again. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the whole thing.
Like I don't
people are
watch
like,
a ton
oh,
of.
I can keep listening to it. It's like you can, but like if you don't, it's not a big deal. Like cut out Woody
Like,
Allen.
I
I
don't
don't watch
watch
Woody Allen
most-
movies either. You don't watch most. I'm sorry.
I don't watch most like rated R movies in general,
Yeah.
and so people, holy crap, I can't believe you've never seen that, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, I don't know, like we've all haven't seen a ton of stuff, you know.
Right.
I don't even
And
own
we're
a
all
TV.
just-
I
fine.
don't even know what a TV is. What is that? Is that like some kind of pet?
I just watch like YouTube videos on my phone, and I don't feel like I'm missing out.
I got all mine
Like I was watching
on DTV.
I watched this compilation of people farting after they got a colonoscopy.
Yeah, you
It
did.
was amazing. Because they have to like pump a bunch of air into you, and so you just do these enormous farts.
Pump up the jam.
Afterwards?
Pump it up. Pump it up.
awesome.
But
Pump
you
it.
don't. But you don't want to watch rated R movies. Like, where's the line?
Yeah, exactly. I have standards.
Yeah, where?
That is a
Where's
weird
the
thing. Like
delineation?
when, like, there's like saying the F word in movies is so much more acceptable than actually farting, I think. Right?
I mean, it's just a word.
I think it depends
how
on
many
the
movies-
the situation.
I'd pay to see a movie with the situation farting in it.
But so like start at the top, like funeral, job interview,
Yeah.
F word,
Do your
and
kids
farting
like
are
say
both equally unacceptable.
inappropriate things a lot? Because I was with my friend last night, and his son is like 10 or 11, and I forget. He was talking about something, and he said, "Screw it," and everyone just kind of looked at him like, not like in a bad way. It was like, "Where did you hear that?" And then he proceeded to tell me all the different YouTube videos in which he's heard someone say "screw it." He's like, "Well, there's this video," and he talked about it. I was
love
like,
this
"Why are you
kid.
telling me about this video?" And then he's like, and then at the end he says "screw it." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he told me about the Lego movie, and the dude says "screw it." I was like, he like has a catalog of places where he's heard this. It's really weird.
My kids, they keep track of
Oh,
every
I
time.
thought you said pearl.
The same
They
kid.
keep track of every time I swear.
What's the pearl?
Do they?
The pearl
is
of
pretty
phenomenon.
hilarious.
That's great.
Your kids do.
But like my son, I guarantee we saw Shazam last night.
Oh,
I
wish
guarantee
you would've
like
seen
he
this.
was not happy when they said the S word a couple times. Because we watched Sandlot, and that was one of his main complaints, is that it had too many swear words in it. And so no, my kids, especially my older son, he avoids any.
That's
He's
sad.
like the purest, most righteous kid on the planet. It is kind of sad.
It's awesome.
So,
It's
no.
I mean, it's good. I guess.
Yeah, like it's good for him. you
Yeah.
know, I guess.
Is it though?
It's good. We're like teetering on the line. Like, which direction do we go?
Yeah, exactly.
Do we dive into this or just move on?
I don't
Let's
think
just
swearing.
Move on.
I don't think swearing is. So growing up in Utah, it's pretty. In most contexts, it's very unusual to hear people swear, and especially to say "OMG." Like I was thinking about this week because I was watching news bloopers, and like it's an interesting delineation between people who say "Oh my gosh" and the other one, you know, and like
What about oh my gorsh?
What about oh my god?
Oh my god!
Like,
But like
Like
in
makes
Utah,
sense.
I can guarantee you.
Oh my God.
Like if anyone ever, it would be a bigger deal if somebody said that on live TV than if somebody said the S word.
Yeah, I get that.
And that's kind of interesting because it seemed like a lot of other places. I don't think that's the case, right?
But I would say here's the reason for that. And I could be wrong, but like the religious connotation of OMG, you can argue that there's actual tangible text
Yeah,
saying,
like it's one of the 10 commandments.
saying you should not say this thing.
There wasn't a 10 commandment about saying
And
the
then-
F word.
Yeah, the other words are just like culturally inappropriate. Like they're not like
right.
biblically inappropriate.
Yeah.
So it's just like it really but we equate them as the same because it's like, oh, don't like things that you don't say.
Yeah.
When in actuality, there's one that's like you can argue this is this sacred text from my religion says to not say this thing.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
None of the other ones are in there.
That's why
They're
it's
not.
the one thing I don't say.
Yeah.
You know. And that's why it is weird to me that it gets lumped. Well, I don't know. At any rate. It's
I think we should be allowed to say any of it
yeah, well
at weddings,
and like
funerals, job interviews.
Anything.
I think you should be able
Anything.
to fart and say the F word in job interviews.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like why not?
The F word is fart, right?
I long for the day. Actually, be the change you want to see in the world. We all need to. It's obviously a position of power thing, right? You can't do it if you're applying for the job, but if you're the one in a position of power and you're doing the hiring, it's on you to fart and say the F word. Right?
Sounds right.
So what would you say
Sounds right.
So what would you say your biggest weakness
That
is?
adds up.
And then you just lift your cheek.
Why don't I
Yeah.
tell you my biggest weaknesses? I work too hard. I care too much.
So do we have another sponsor, Aaron?
We do.
Because there's another
episode is
there's another
very
F word
long.
I want to talk about, but
Our-
we'll wait until after this.
Well, I mean, okay, this episode's going to be really long.
This is
This
too long.
episode is also
This is
sponsored
very long
by
already.
Pelican Noiseworks. Check out the Half Horse. Actually, just check out the Half Horse
whole
right
horse?
now. That's literally probably one of my favorite pedals. It literally just is. It just is one of my favorite pedals. I
very
like it
good
a lot. It's fun. I was playing with it the other day, and it's got like such a unique texture of fuzz that
Yeah,
I think it's like a true fuzz
it's really
distortion
versatile too.
in that it's like, yeah, it is. It is very different from other things. Like it's gritty in a way that's not like Velcro necessarily. I just love it. It's got such a unique breakup. It's really cool. It is versatile, and it's got a little nod to us in the sounds knob, which is not ever a bad thing.
Heck yeah, dude.
And they are currently
Hashtag death to tone.
available.
They're not very expensive either.
How much
So-
are they?
with that
Go
big
buy
old knob, $155 on his website.
$155.
For a handmade boutique pedal by a small builder, that's not.
That's true.
Which makes me like, why? I don't know. It just seems crazy that other people are charging $200 for an overdrive when that's like a modified tube screamer. When I don't know, prices are crazy.
You can get like this really unique handmade,
Yeah.
it's a unique circuit. It's handmade. And the art, I like the art on it too.
Yeah, it's funny.
At one point we were trying to do like some custom colors or a custom color for the Gear Slum. And like we kind of ultimately decided like, nah, the colors are just really good how they are,
I have a custom colored one.
Well, yours is like the black one, right?
Yeah, it's all black. Got baked.
All black. So here's the other F word I want to talk about. Friendship.
Thanks for friendship. I knew it. Guys, thanks for
I was
tuning
wondering
in.
why you guys were
Clever.
like, we can't. It's going to be so long. It's like, guys, I'm trying to end the episode as we
It's
speak.
super long. So
Literally
check
what
out
I'm trying to
Preacher
do.
Sneakers on Instagram. Argue with someone about whether or not Preacher should spend $2,000 on shoes, or wear shoes that cost $2,000 even if they didn't spend it.
Or like, should they even want to have
Yeah.
$2,000 shoes for one thing?
Go defend Rhea Pearlman. Live your life.
Exactly.
Say the F word.
Defend Lou Pearlman.
Say the
defend
F word.
Pauly D.
Watch. Oh, at this point,
All the
this
polls.
point, Double Shot at Love has already aired. Started April 11th. The Hills
Okay.
New Beginning starts May 24th, I believe. Stay tuned for more MTV talk.
All right. Sounds
All right.
good.
Thanks for friendship.
Thanks for friendship.
Thanks for friendship.